Hey everybody, Mrs. Peterson here, and I am going to show you how to do a self-evaluation. And we're going to go ahead and start with logging into Clever. So when you log into Clever, go ahead and jump on Google Classroom. This is super important, you guys. If you go into Google Classroom through Clever, which I need you to be doing, okay, you might open this up and not see anything about your class. And that's because I need to know that you've jumped on through Clever so I can add you to this Google Classroom, because starting soon I'm going to delete all your non-school emails. All right, so here I am in Google Classroom, and you'll go to your class assignment. I've actually just put this as a tester here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you this assignment. All right, so this will be a little bit different right here for each class. I'll do this one for AVP, and then for each class I'll write it a little different, then I'll tell you what you're evaluating. This is key, you guys, because next week you're going to use the same format, everything about it, to take your midterm, okay? And I'll tell you right now, your midterm is going to be evaluating your poster that you made for digital citizenship, all right? And I know that's back a little bit, but if you turned it in on Google Classroom, you can even go back and find it and see what you did, okay? So you can be looking at it. But this week, we're going to practice by evaluating something that you've just recently did. Okay, so it says use the Google Doc provided to answer the 7 questions we answer for all our projects. If you've been in my class before, this is nothing different. If you haven't, this will be new, but you'll see it every year with me. So you're going to open up the Google Doc provided, all right? So I've got 2 documents. Here's the rubric that tells you how I grade everything, and here's the Google Doc, all right? You're going to change the heading and, put everything in your own wording. So let's do this, all right? First of all, let's look at the rubric. Now the rubric has, let's see if I can zoom in just a little. Okay, that works. All right. Keep this all year, okay? So on a separate piece of paper, but you guys are going to be using that document that I put in Google Classroom. Put your MLA title and whatever project you're currently working on. So in this assignment, right, I've told you which one it is you're going to be doing. For AVP, it tells them AVP 1 at school will do this, AVP 2 AVP 1 distance learning, and AVP 2 will do this, right? So have that for you. Let's see. And now I'm looking for it, you guys. There it is. Sorry, I don't know what happened to me. Okay, there we go. Now, number each question and put a line between each question. I've already done all of this for you on this Google Doc, and I'll show you in a minute. And then be sure to be thorough. This is the huge part, especially for this number 2 right here, okay? And I'll show you in a minute. The grading scale is listed below, all right? And each one of these is worth 4 points, except this one right here is worth 8 points. So it would be 8, 6, 2. Right? So 4 to 6 on this one. So because this one is long, you really got to work on it. So let me explain to you this first one. Let's see if I can highlight it. Oh, it's not going to let me highlight it. What knowledge and or skill did you attempt to demonstrate in this assignment? And this is what you guys are telling me. This assignment was, right? So for AVP 1, this assignment evaluated the project I worked on from Izzy video. That's the answer, right? And what that means is you're answering the question, what is this assignment? You just need one sentence here. Don't go into all the details because that's number 2. Number 2 is all the details, right? Number 2, explain in detail how you attempted to demonstrate each area of knowledge or skill. So I started with this, I opened up the internet, I went to this website, and while I was doing this, I used this tool, I trimmed off the video, all these things. You're just explaining to as if you're gonna like teach your little sister kind of the order of what you just did, right? So it needs to be 6 to 8 sentences or longer because you're teaching me what you learned. And I'm pounding on my desk right now, you guys. What were your research sources for this? So the websites you went to, Mrs. Peterson's videos on Google Classroom, if you went to Remind and looked at other people's projects, that kind of stuff, that's all your resources. So if you did a Google search, that's all your resources, all right? So you would list those, all right? What would you want to improve if you did a similar assignment in the future? This is super important, you guys. Similar assignment, that means basically the same assignment again. So you still have to stay in the context of this number 1. So if number 1 was creating and editing a video on Izzy Video, right? Creating a project on Izzy Video, if that was your project, then you need to talk about, if I did another practice video on Izzy Video, I would want to, it has to deal with your project. You can't say something like, I want to learn how to storyboard, because that is not what the number 1 was. So number 4 and number 1 relate to each other, okay? That's what it says. This has to do with what you answered for number 1, all right? And I spelled knowledge wrong. Sorry about that. What else would you like to learn? You guys, these 3 right here, if you give me a sentence with a capital letter, and you give me a punctuation at the end, and you give me something that has to do with this and this, all of this stuff, all right? If you give me something to do with this, bam, bam, and it's in sentence form, you're probably gonna get it right. But you need to be thoughtful and specific. Don't just say, this would be, I'd like to do this project again. That's vague, right? Relevant, like something like, Izzy Video was really interesting to learn. I'd like to learn more from it. That's relevant, but general. Or, on Izzy Video, I learned how to splice. What I'd really like to learn is how to make my transitions quicker. Okay, that's thoughtful and specific. So you have to have a sentence form, and thoughtful and specific is going to give you 4 points. General, I want to do it again, is not going to give you many points, you guys. So look at this rubric for how I'm going to grade you. What was the area you felt you were successful in? You guys, you got to pick one thing that you did well, all right? And then you explain, I thought I did well on this because I thought I did well on the cross dissolve for the first part of the video because I finally understood how to cross dissolve after doing it 3 or 4 times. That's specific, all right? And then, was this assignment valuable or not, all right? You can say no, but you have to be thoughtful about your response for no. Or you can say yes, but if you say no and are thoughtful about your response, you would get more points if you said yes and you said, yes, it was, period, because you're not supporting your answer, right? Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go right back to Google Classroom and I'm going to show you what I did for you, you guys. I just took that rubric, right, and I wrote it out. You're going to replace your name. I even wrote my name for you. You're going to replace your class and your class period. You're going to replace the name of the month spelled out, right? So that's the date. And then self-evaluation over. Guys, you have to take this out and tell me, what is your self-evaluation over? Izzy videos. I'm not spelling well tonight. Okay. How many ways can I spell that word? Izzy video tutorial. All right. So you can't just leave what was in there before, you guys. You can't just leave the thing that says the, what is it? The name of what you're evaluating. I want you to put the name of what you're evaluating. Now, I tell you, this one's worth 4. This one's worth 8. This one's worth, I tell you. And it's the same questions that I just asked. What knowledge and or skills did you attempt to demonstrate in this assignment? I started your sentence for me. For you, not for me. Well, it's kind of for me because I'm grading it. I attempted to demonstrate, and then you type out your answer, right? And here's what some people did last year. They left everything like this and then started a new sentence here. Today, I liked to do the... No, finish this sentence. You guys finish the sentence, right? So this document will have your name on it. It'll even come up right here. It won't say self-evaluation. It'll have your name, self-evaluation, right? So my sources were type. If I did a similar project, I would want to type. All right? I did this for you so you can feel the MLA format. It's double spaced. Everything's in there. All right? So I know this was kind of a weird tutorial video, but I want you guys to do your best on all your tests in my class, and this is a test. So when you do this one right here, it's got to be thoughtful because I'm grading it as a test. How am I grading it? I'm using this rubric. I'm really looking for these kind of responses, all right? You're going to do this all year with me. Start out really strong so I can really evaluate it and write on it and send it back to you and show you what you need to work on for your test next week, right? If you turn it in late, you guys, then, I mean, I can't grade it and get it back to you before your test next week, and you'll just have to guess that you did well, all right, or did bad. You don't know. All right, all that to say, I love you. I miss you already. Go out and change your world for the better. Start this self-evaluation strong. All right, you guys, you take care.